I think the movie Frankenstein put a lot of things into perspective. This is a beautiful adaptation that that explains for the first time why the main character is a man. Think about it. Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, had not only experienced childbirth, but had also experienced the loss of a child. So, how come her grief never made her want to glue human parts together and bring a baby back to life? Why is it that the mad scientist, the heretic, is always a man? I think I know why. And it's not because men just take initiative and they're better at science. Nope, none of that. After the creature comes to life, we see Victor taking care of what at this point can only be called a large baby. Victor sees the creature's inability to learn everything as a failure, whereas Elizabeth, she sees this time as an opportunity to be curious. This curiosity is what men call empathy. But isn't it interesting that the lack of this curiosity is what they call cold, calculated rationality? Men love to think that they can create life, but forget the most important ingredient, which is empathy. If women were to throw in the towel every time the baby pooped in the diaper or spit up, the bloodline would end. But that is exactly what we see Victor do. He got burnt out from taking care of the creature so quickly, but for women, this is called postpartum depression, and they don't have the luxury of deciding the creature they made is a monster. Only men get to do that. The whole point of the movie is teaching us that the creature was just a creature, and Victor turned it into a monster. A lot of the movie follows Mary Shelley's book, but this particular detail is the work of the director, and I think it's very interesting. This is a great way of paying homage to the writer because he is not just using the source material, he's also using her life as inspiration. So, what was Mary Shelley trying to tell us? I think it is best summed up in the scene where the creature confronts Victor and says, "It's not a miracle that I speak, it's that you'd listen." And it's true. Victor does not listen. He's so fixated on creating life or curing death, he forgets why it is not up to him. Women have been saying this for generations, but men don't listen. And they try to create life when it's not their right to do so. Something very eerily similar between Victor and modern day tech bros who are so focused on what AI can achieve that they completely ignore what is at stake and how it is not their right to destroy the planet in an attempt to achieve a narcissistic goal that serves no purpose aside from stroking their own ego. What I love about the movie is that it's beautiful without AI. The director did not fall into the AI trap, and in fact, he opposes AI with determination. It's especially important for AI to come up in conversations about Frankenstein because Mary Shelley did not just write the first science fiction book, she wrote a book nobody thought she was able to write. She wrote a book no one believed a woman could write. She did it in a time when women used a man's name to have their work considered. You know the joke before there was AI, men would just steal their wives' ideas? That says a lot about AI and its champions because not only is AI stealing the work of other writers, it jeopardizes the creativity of real human writers. Female writers need to understand the gravity of the situation. AI is not just a tool you use to speed up your tasks. AI is used to enhance your content, but when it does that, it becomes your co-writer. And that means your work is not yours anymore. How do you prove that AI was used to create something? By using more AI. I've been working as a writer for over 10 years, and on several occasions, my human written content has been flagged as AI generated. This is not just a minor error or a mistake. This is very sinister. It means that your work may legally not be yours in the future. AI taking inspiration from your work without giving you any credit or compensation is setting us back. It is no different from a man stealing your ideas. And it's especially interesting that once women actually made it to the mainstream and started getting recognized for their work, in comes a man made creation that now questions whether you deserve to have ownership of it. Just because it can pretend to write like you does not mean it's good. This is why men need to steal your ideas in the first place, because they lack empathy. They think rationality will get them ahead in life, failing to realize that empathy is the foundation of creativity. Empathy is built like a muscle from real life experiences, and that is the foundation of our creativity. The director of this movie said something very interesting in an interview, and that was art is not about convenience, it's about how much you would struggle to be in the presence of it. And that is exactly what empathy is all about. It is a reflection of the life you have lived, and most importantly, the risks you've taken to someday be able to write about it. When when we leave it to tech bros, it becomes an embarrassing imitation repackaged as convenience. But the real question is, why are we celebrating this? When movies like Frankenstein exist, why can't we just watch movies created by humans and support human creativity? The fascination surrounding Frankenstein will probably go down in history as one of the last few human made movies where AI takes over and tramples the industry. If we are surrounded by nothing but AI slop, you will be left wondering why you feel nothing when you watch movies, shows, or listen to music. And in a way, that is already happening. This will probably lead to the creation of a human generated niche where we marvel at art made by humans, and it's actually ironic because what do you mean art made by humans? If it isn't made by a human and it serves only one purpose, which is mass consumption, it shouldn't be considered art. Just like Frankenstein's creature doesn't get to live a normal human life even when it tries so hard to resemble it. I think Frankenstein getting one of the best adaptations in the age of AI is nothing short of divine comedy, because if Mary Shelley was alive today, say I told you so.